So
So,
welcome back to another episode of the Khalidia Show.
أهلا وسهلا يا باس.
Yeah, boss. We call it, since we have the same name, we just figured we'd call each other boss. It's just easier that way.
It's an inside joke, but
It's an inside joke, but yeah, if you guys hear us calling each other boss, that's what that is. So, yeah, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about Syria, a topic that is, near and dear to my heart since I'm Syrian. I grew up in Syria, but um, it's a topic also that's uh, it's lost a lot of interest in the past few years, and so it's not in the crazy news cycle that loses people with their with the gets people's attention spans to be so short. So yeah, we can talk a little bit about what's been going on in Syria and where it's at. I mean, it's a huge topic, obviously, but we want to sort of touch on the main things.
yeah, I mean it's interesting to me how these conflicts become uncool after a while. If there isn't something terribly, horribly wrong going on, people stop paying attention, and it's not like the place has gone away and the conflict has ended. So there is definitely a lot of things going on, even though it hasn't really hit the major American news cycles recently.
International news cycles too. I mean, it's. I think this phenomenon that we're talking about is pretty common all over the world. I mean, it's this 24-hour news cycle driven by profit. It's it's not exactly meant for people to really get a good understanding of what's going on in the world, but rather just to get more viewership. And so yeah, and I think that leads to a whole lot of other problems.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we see this a lot with like the Palestine issue as well. Like before this year, Palestine was not really talked about for a few years before it got cool again.
Yeah, violence is sexy. This is what
Yeah,
you have,
right.
with the new with
Ice cream
news
is
and history.
sexy.
Yeah. Thank you, Ben and Jerry's. Shout out to Ben and Jerry's.
Shout out to Ben and Jerry's for
Stop
calling out the
selling.
occupation.
Well, they stopped selling. They stopped selling ice cream in the occupied in the settlements in the occupied territories. So shout out to Ben and Jerry's. They've
Right.
always had, that was one of the things, like they were recently purchased by a larger company, and one of their stipulations was you can't stop our sort of social issues, the thing,
Oh,
because they've always had a sort of like they support human rights and issues throughout the world, and they that was one of their stipulations, like you can buy us and run the company, but you have to let us still have our moral compass.
yeah.
In all fairness, I have to I think we should mention we are not being sponsored by Ben and Jerry's. This is not
Yeah.
an ad. This is not a sponsorship thing.
They're still selling ice cream to Israel. So, I mean, like it's
Yeah, baby
the
steps.
boycott. It's not really a boycott.
It's not that huge of a boycott, really, but Israel is pissed about it. But the
They're
point is,
really pissed.
oh yeah, they're coming out for ice cream blood, blood and
Yeah,
Jerry's. But I mean, yeah, I mean, the point is, like, yeah, we're not. This is not a sponsorship. They have no affiliation with us. This is a nod to a company that I think is doing the right thing, and that's all
Yeah.
that is.
Yeah, yeah.